Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. As a part of MAHA SHIVARATRI, the another next observance we follow is fasting. Yesterday we saw bhajan singing, chanting and all that. One thing you have to remember is always have collective awareness when you sing, chant, not individual, because the Lord whom you are worshipping is all pervading. He is in every heart, and you have to begin always singing prayers, bhajans and all that with Sarvastaratu Durgani, Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu, Sarva Sadbuddhi Mapnotu, Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu. With this we begin chanting, singing, prayers, all for collective welfare. The more you sacrifice for others, the more will be the grace that descends upon you. And you always end singing bhajans and all that with Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. With that we land. The next thing we take up is fasting. Shivaratri, it is considered as vrata. Though we give the term festival, festival, there is no festivity in Shivaratri. It is austerity, no festivity. Austere life, tapasika jivana. So fasting is an important part of Mahashivaratri, keeping vigil jagarne and fasting, upavasa. Actually the term upavasa, living close, upavasa, living close to God, reducing all activities to minimum. Otherwise, how much of time is consumed in taking food? Morning till night, most of the part goes in kitchen. You can see, morning, bed coffee, then breakfast, then some tea, noon food, continuously. When you see in the ashramas and all, one section will be continuously working. Clean the vessels, save the remainings, prepare the fresh, goes on non-stop. Morning if you start, night after everybody's food is over, again there is vessels to be carried, cleaned, kept, preserved, all this. So, even if one person is there at home, he has to do something, dosa. See the thing. So on fasting day, on special days, like this, where there is vrata and observance is there, then what we do is just whatever is available, just a cup of milk or a fruit, wherein extra work is not involved. Whatever is available, yesterday's, day before yesterday's, whatever is there, just swallow it from morning till night. Sit at the feet of God. So, whole day, whole life I am spending in the world. Every day morning I get up, I think of whatever I do is for myself. Brushing teeth is for me, taking bath is for me, I am keeping the family for me. Everything is for me. I am doing for me. So there is no sacrifice. There is no, so on special days, at least once in a week, once in a fortnight, what you do is exclusively you give yourself to God, in thought of God. From morning till night you are thinking of yourself or of this world. Of this world means not the welfare of the world, what you can extract from this world, what you can exploit from nature, that alone I am concerned about. Not the welfare of the world, not my welfare also. So, sometime in your life, give to God, wherein the tending up, the backing of karmic load is kept aside and suspended for some time to have a renewal of grip on the divine. When you are clouded with so many vasanas, tendencies, past momentum, you cannot think of God or hold. Once you lose the grip, to hold it back is very difficult. So, regular fasting, sitting, how did I spend 1 week or 1 fortnight? That much part of my life is gone. So that part of life is going. I am nearing death every day. Whatever I got in the end, nothing. Whole life I spent with an empty hand. So to have a grip, to have a next, what about next? Beyond. So we will have upavasa, sitting close to God. Because external security, external peace, external joy and all are temporary, momentary, and brings with it lot of suffering and bondage. And when it is spiritual, when it is divine, it is sustaining, it is perennial, it is eternal. So from shifting from temporal to the eternal, we do upvasa. Upvasa doesn't mean fasting alone. Fasting in every way. My senses are fasting on that day. I don't see, I don't move about here, there, I don't use my mobile, I don't see TV, I don't go through the newspaper. All types of fasting, no enjoyments. The whole day is spent in thought of God, in seeking welfare of the whole society, humanity. Today, one of the inmates in Bangalore, he sent the news. We don't have TV and newspaper, you see. So, we don't get what is happening in the world. That war has broken in, Russia and Ukraine. Some crane. So, pray for peace. Pray for peace. What a beautiful understanding, you see. War is inevitable. Destruction is inevitable. But what for are we fighting for? Krishna also did the same thing, war. What did he do? War. What is the difference between his war and our war? His war was to bring peace. Our war is to break the peace. So, if we are going to bring peace to the world, a little destruction is not harmful. If you can bring peace. Otherwise, if you are going to destroy the peace, it is something harming the humanity. Anyway, wherever there is problem, wherever there is misunderstanding, wherever there is lack of peace, wherever there is war, we will pray for peace. Always. That is the one thing that makes your evolution possible. It makes your heart expand. Expansion of heart. Spirituality is exclusively expansion of heart and expansion of consciousness is spirituality. So, this is upavasa, is to sit close to God and pray for the welfare. Begin always anything you do in your life, going for pilgrimage or doing your day-to-day spiritual practices like dhyana, japa, begin with always prayer for the welfare of the whole world, all beings, the entire humanity. End with the same. Then you will understand what is real spirituality. So, upavasa is sitting close to God. Now, Shivaratri day, you leave all other duties of life and go on thinking of the divine and praying for your own spiritual evolution and for the good of the humanity. Atmano mokshartham jagadhitaya cha. You will start praying. This is the upavasa basically, and then there is rudhiya also. My grandfather was doing, my father was doing, I am also doing. Rudhi. I don't know why I am doing. They were doing, I was doing. I am doing. That is Rudhi part. Another thing is, when we go to the Ayurvedic and medical field, the excess of energy is consumed. Metabolic problems are solved in the bodily existence. Every cell will be aspiring for something new. Just like children will be seeing what is available, new packets are hanging in the shops. It will be, every cell of your body will be, daily you eat the same thing, rice and dal, sambar, vegetables in various ways, you are eating the same thing. One day puliyogre, another day chitrana, same rice, different tastes, that's all. Cells are getting the same food and same nutrition. When you change the food, according to Ayurvedic, you will change the type of food. Whole what you are eating will not be eaten. You will eat instead of what is grown in the below the earth, like potatoes, this, that, sweet potatoes. All the daily eating is stopped. Other grains which you are not using, like rice eater will eat chapati. Chapati eater will eat rice. Change ground nuts, this, that, something. It will be rejuvenating your bodily system. And when we come to the spiritual life, it is great sacrifice. What am I going to give to God? When people tell what government has done, you see this, that and all, I get a question, what have you done to the nation? Government, you are telling people you are criticizing. What have you done? Have you taken a broomstick and swept one day in your life? No. Going on criticizing and commenting. That will not do. You have to sacrifice. What have you sacrificed? Always your spiritual aspirations must be substantiated by sacrifice. You are asking, a child is asking for a chocolate. When you are not giving it, he substantiates properly. Once it shouts, you will bring all the chocolates and throw it before him. It will not stop. He will not stop till the chocolate comes in his hand. Immediately, chocolate give, immediately, all tears have stopped. There is smile on the lips. How it changes, you see. It is substantiated by. What are you going to substantiate for your spiritual aspirations? Something sacrificing. I am going to give up my food. Joyfully, as a part of my sacrifice. And I am going to give up my hunger also, not only food. I feel joy in feeling hungry, not eating. So this is a sacrifice to God for, that is really I am seeking. I want to tell to God, see, I am fasting, I am really seeking. These, especially the demons, Rakshasas, how much of tapas they do, standing on one leg. For years they don't take food. Buddha, ihasane shushyatu me shariram, aprapya bodhi bhahukalpa durlabham. He sits fasting till Sujata Mata brings payasam and gives to him and says, this will not do. So it is not a fulfillment of ego or anything. It is a set of desperation. Oh, what for is the life if I have not attained what I have to attain in my life because of this body? This body is given to realize God. And if I have not realized God, what have I got through this body? I have no right to eat food, give food to this body if it cannot realize God, if it cannot constantly think of God. Did I come for enjoyment of the worldly things? So he fasts. Fasting there has a different implication. Similarly, we see fasting in maintaining brahmacharya. The mental states change according to the phases of moon. The whole, if you watch properly, the people who are mad become intense on Amavasya day and Purnima day. The sea you can see, high tides coming on Purnima and Amavasya day. The moon has tremendous effect on our system. All planets, any two objects has gravitational force on each other. I am pulling you and you are pulling me, every object. The Earth's pull is so powerful that we are not colliding. Otherwise we would collide. So the planets and all, huge masses, how much of gravitational force it might be applying on our body. Earth is highest for us because of the low distance, zero distance. We are on the earth. G is proportional to distance and inversely proportional to mass, directly proportional to mass. So that distance, because of the distance, it is almost zero. Nearest is moon. Stars, some are thousands of times than sun itself. But it's because of the distance, it is almost zero. Otherwise, it will attract me, and from earth I will go to one star. If it is its gravitational, if I come under its gravitational force, like that, most phases affect us. Especially, mind is like ocean, wavy, always moving about. Similarly, bodily system, about 80% or so of the bodily, this one is water only. 73% it seems, little less than 80. So that much of water is there, like cucumber and watermelon. We are also like that watermelon. And this gravitation working in the bodily system. So mind becomes wavy and slowly goes to a peak, a kind of desire for enjoyments, and again comes down disappointed, again goes. These cycles. So especially the desire of sex desires. When a brahmachari wants to maintain his continence, chastity, then what he does is 4 days before Amavasya and Purnima, on Ekadashi day, he fasts. The excess energy is totally brought down when he fasts. Take little so that there is no acidity and all problem, and you will not feel exhausted. A little food if it is necessary, otherwise just water, or even without water, nirjala. And whole excess energy is dissolved. And mind immediately becomes calm. You cannot run about. Senses cannot run about. It is exercising self-control on senses and mind. On one side, it is purificatory process. It purifies mind. Because food and energy and matter are interrelated. Mind, matter, and the individual all are related, interrelated. So food is matter we are inputting. When it is reduced, there is an upheaval in the spiritual power, in the awarenesses. Whatever you are aspiring for, it gets intensified by fasting. You want to attain something. Examination time and all, you see. Mother let her prepare fine dishes. Mind doesn't go. Tomorrow exam means. Somehow he gulps fine dishes without seeing. Ice cream, Cadbury's chocolate and all. Mind is not there. Tomorrow exam. So it intensifies. This is converse. Because of intensity, you are not taking food. Not taking food, it intensifies your aspirations. What are you aspiring for? So it is an integral part of religion and a purificatory process and control of exercising control, self-control in terms of spirituality and religion. In religion, it is an integral part, just like what you call a ritual, religious ritual, as if you are following a ritual you are doing by fasting. In spirituality, it is to go ahead in the spiritual path. I must feel closeness with God. One is your spiritual energy must be redirected. When you fast, all others get tired and exhausted. And only heart, whatever it aspires for, it doesn't leave. Something, suppose a person, mother is there, her son is hospitalized, a child is on the deathbed in the hospital. Food and all she cannot eat, and whatever food she consumes, it will not get absorbed in the body also. She will go on falling, her weight goes on falling, even if she takes food. Now you see the state of mind of the mother. Like that, we are aspiring for God. So this, it intensifies. One is virtue, love, spiritual power. It is upheaval. Virtue also. A great satisfaction comes within you, and a power of tapasya. Whenever you do any tapasya, you get a power. It is maybe fasting, but spiritual power you will be getting through tapas. Without tapas, nothing can be achieved in life. So everything needs some kind of sacrifice, lower sacrifices for higher attainments. This is what we see in fasting. कुछ पाना है तो कुछ खोना है. What are you going to leave to have higher attainments in your life? So all enjoyments we leave and take the pains, accept the pains, strains, bodily strains. Suppose you give up any desire, it becomes a tapasya. Suppose somebody scolds you, I will not get affected by it. I bear it, and I bear it for love of God. It becomes a tapasya. One sadhu was beaten. He was military trained. By mistake he was beaten. Some sadhu took away somebody's baggage when they were taking bath in Ganga Sagar. They could not find out who. They got out of this sadhu and started beating him. 3 people beat him nicely. He was saving himself silently. Then after their beating was over, he stood up and told, I don't beat you. For love of God, I tolerate. But remember, I am military trained. I can kill all the 3 of you here now, after so much of beating. He was a military man. Silently bore, and he says, for love of God, I pardon you. What a word you see. So that, for love of God, I bear all the pains. I impose upon myself some strains that I love God. How do I express my love? To develop intimacy with God, to receive His grace, to receive His compassion. So I do some kind of sacrifice within my limits. Not that I am going to fast till my last breath, no. One day, a few hours, from today's sunrise to next sunrise. If doctor says tomorrow is operation, you cannot take food today, we don't take stomach surgery. And he too will not give food another 3 days after operation. So, we are ready to sacrifice there for my health. Can I not sacrifice for attaining God? So in spiritual life also, I do great sacrifices, small sacrifices like that. On Shivaratri day, today sunrise to tomorrow sunrise. If you cannot do, from sunrise to sunset, in the evening after the sunset, you will have the puja, small puja, worship, and then have the prasad. Prasad is not food. So, like that. If you cannot do, skip one meal. If you cannot do, skip morning tiffin. Whatever within your limits, but do sacrifice. So, what people do is, little food here and there they will take, so that mind calmly sits at the feet of God, in spite of fasting. So fasting is substantiated by little food that gives energy to do the spiritual practices. Don't go to the extremes, beyond your limits, never go in spiritual life also, within the limits. But to decide limit, it is little difficult. You must have a correct judgment. Yes, this much I can do, I will do. Then we slowly extend the limits as we grow in spiritual life. Well, this is about fasting. Why and how we fast. So, for protecting brahmacharya, that wave, just like mad people get wave monthly, on Amavasya day, Purnima day, in the bodily cycle also, there will be desires created. So 4 days before itself they will start fasting. So excess of energy won't be there. Everything, whole thing is calm and quiet, pleasant. Instead of thinking of enjoyment, the same mind which is running after enjoyments will be calmly sitting at the feet of God. And Sri Ramakrishna advises the householders, knowingly or unknowingly, a lot of mistakes happen. I may scold someone, I may beat someone, I may comment on someone, I may give suggestions. Everything is karma. I am afraid to tell, instead of this song, take that song. It's a suggestion. I am doing a new karma. I don't know which song is going to affect which people. I should not be the cause. So much I silently listen to comments and suggestions, but I don't interfere. So this karmas, knowingly or unknowingly, somebody who was, suppose I have sung that, 100 people, 99 people would have disliked it. One person, if he was awakened spiritually, it would have been. All 99 might have clapped, but nobody is benefited. So, just I am giving an example. So, minimum talks, minimum expressions. Whatever you talk, do something which is constructive, building up, not destructive type, which is bringing down. Be very careful about. Vak is a karmendriya. We are doing karma through vak, speech. Lot of karmas, we do maximum karmas we are doing through speech. The less you speak, the more beneficial it will be to you. All right, this is about fasting. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna